Hi, today for EDM Level 3 training, we're going to cover sales, strategy, and discovery, setting the stage for an EDM opportunity. My name is Jeff Scholler. I'm a Senior Solutions Engineer. What we're covering today in regards to that will be the context, the goals, challenges, and setting traps, all crucial areas of the conversation you want to have with the customer. What do we mean by context? This is where we want to better understand where the customer is coming from and where we're coming from to open up that conversation. Because if we understand the context of the situation or opportunity at hand better, we can better fine-tune our sales strategy and delivery for the audience at hand. Some of these things can be, why were we brought in? Is this a business or IT conversation? If it's business, we want to focus on easy to use and their day-to-day challenges. If it's IT, typically it's more technical and some of the data type questions. Are there any initiatives or other projects? Is there a broader Oracle opportunity? Does Oracle have any history with the client? History with the client, that's an easy thing. That's typically, do they have any of our on-prem tools? Can we help them go to the cloud? Do they have the predecessor, the DRM, data relationship management, maybe DRG, data relationship governance? EDM is very powerful, especially when we tie into other products. And the reason why is because EDM helps synchronize data across multiple systems. So if there have any other initiatives going to the cloud as mentioned before, or they're going to EPM, maybe even non-Oracle, they're just redesigning their chart of accounts. If EDM gets attached to any of those opportunities, our success rate with sales dramatically increases. So these are some of the questions that we want to ask in the very beginning. So if we understand the context on their side, the customer, the situation at hand, what they're looking for, and on our side, where did we come in from, that will help us develop a sales strategy that will have a winning success. Goals. So we both come to the opportunity, but we both have goals. It's important to understand their side of the goals, and our side, we're selling value. That's our approach. And so the goal is to sell the value that they can receive based on the products that we're looking to provide. From the customer's perspective, you need to understand, where are their goals? Is this something that they're looking to mature in how they use their data, govern their data? Is this something where they're looking to evolve? What they're doing today is not good enough, and they need to evolve for the future. Typically, conversations like that, it goes from a manual approach, spreadsheets, emails, and they're looking to evolve into something more efficient, better processing, better audit. All these things we can help them with, but we need to bring them out in conversation during the discovery. Make them aware that they're not happy, or maybe they know they can do better. Because when you draw those emotions and they understand truly the situation at hand, it's a lot easier to have that conversation on where we can take them and where they can go. Challenges. So this is a very important one, is even if they understand the context, why they're in the conversation, why we're in the conversation, and some of the high level of what they're looking to do, the key thing is you really need to draw out those emotions as we mentioned before, and that's where the challenges come into play. Without a challenge, it doesn't make sense to provide a solution. And so we really need to understand, what is their challenge. Now, their challenge can be two ways. It could be the data itself, meaning there's data quality issues. The data, there's trying to bring in multiple sources, it's hard to manage. We need to understand, where does it exist? How is it done today? The key thing, though, is not just the data itself, but the process surrounding it. Because EDM really helps create a more efficient process. And so understanding the process in their words will increase your sales opportunity. And so you ask, how is the data being updated today? How are you keeping the data in hierarchies in sync across multiple systems in multiple hierarchies, maybe some alternate hierarchies? Have the customer tell you their story. And it's really powerful because you can use their story later on when you describe the solution, saying that you described this as inefficient or ineffective, and now we can say that we solved that issue. And even ask them, have we solved it? And so really need to work on asking the questions to the customer of how they do it today, what are the challenges, and draw out those emotions. Setting traps. Now, a few things may come to mind just by saying setting traps, but essentially what this is, we want to set traps so that we can handle our competition more directly and show the value that Oracle products have. Now, you can think of these traps from a few different perspectives. One could be the customer themselves. And the reason why is because if you ask them, sometimes things may not come to light, or maybe they're resistant to change. Two of the biggest areas. And so you need to ask them, if this wasn't resolved, what would the negative impact be? Once again, drawing out those emotions to say, if you do nothing, are you happy where you're at? Will you feel the pain? Why not improve? Do you have any problems with audit? Because audit does mean dollars if you get negatively impacted. Timelines for projects, same thing. You can have delays. So once they recognize the importance of having master data, having enterprise data management, and just the need to be able to govern their data, that's when we can come through with the value. And the same thing goes for the competition, because this is another layer essentially derived from the customer themselves. If we make sure that they understand the importance of them addressing enterprise data, then they should be able to ask the customer the same question. Meaning, how is it addressed today? Does our competition address it at all? Some of our competition may, some of our competition may not. Is there workflow? Because we understand this is both a business and IT process. Do they have the ability to show multiple different hierarchies and perspectives of the data? Because we know the customer has multiple systems and perspectives, so it needs to be supported. Is it flexible for inbound and outbound systems, Oracle, non-Oracle, cloud, non-cloud? Because as soon as the customer recognizes all these areas are important to them, they recognize it needs to be important to the solution. And we provide an answer to all those questions in our solution, and our competition may not. And we need to make sure that gets brought to light, the importance of it, and that we do it and others may not. So to recap, Oracle's goals focus on value sales. That means focusing on the customer needs and the potential value they can receive from our products. Based on their needs, we need to understand where the customer is coming from, their challenges, and why Oracle is there in the first place. Among the questions, we need to also address their challenges as well as setting traps, bringing to light the importance of the areas that we provide solutions for, and that our competition may not address it, but we address it and we're a leader. So these are the key areas and the takeaways from this session for EDM sales strategy and discovery. Thank you.